Right, warm welcome, folks. Well, it is a beautiful afternoon here in Dubai. And thank you for joining Realty Check. You know what we do here, right? We delve deep into real estate, bring you market insights, and we go a bit beyond the ordinary. You get all the information otherwise from Google and everywhere else, but we don't want to give you what God Google gives you. We want to give you what the market wants you to know. And that's how special we are. Do not forget to chase us up. Continue to follow this channel. Hit that little bell icon and subscribe so you can get loads of information and be up to date with our new podcast. Today is another exciting day, and we have Azhar Khan, who is a partner of Uplux Properties. Well, no new name. He has a very strong banking background and then in real estate as well, 6 years in real estate. We are now looking at someone who's dabbled in real estate, built a nice, nifty business, and 2024 recorded about 600 million. So I think I'll keep my mouth shut, just ask the questions right here. So with that, Azhar, such a warm welcome from Damac, and nice to have you here today.
Thank you, Govind. Thank you so much.
Pleasure is all ours. Azhar, before we go into any of this dabble and talk, tell us about Uplux.
So, Uplux is actually it's the new company that we have rebranded. Originally, it was Upstream Properties that we started almost 3 years back.
Right.
The good part is it was a very unique combination wherein we have someone who is from the digital marketing background,
Right.
one of the partner, two of the partners, I'll say,
Right.
and then
That's also
the
half your
others-
problem.
exactly. Because in the market, I mean, most of the people are suffering because of I'll say marketing. Digital marketing is something wherein it's quite challenging now. And then when we have someone who is very experienced in this, who have got 10 years plus experience in Dubai real estate market in digital marketing only,
Right.
and then we come together as sales part, so it becomes a very good combination.
Right,
And
right.
that's how we managed to be among the top 10 brokers
Right.
with most of the developers.
Right.
I'll say we are good with Damac. We have always been very good with Damac in terms of
Right.
numbers.
Right.
We were very good with MR, with Expo, with Nashama, with Dubai Holdings. So we are among the top 10 brokers with most of the big
Developers, yeah.
developers in the market.
Right. That was good to know. Good to know.
And I'm coaching only the top developers now.
Right.
If we go in detail, so yeah, I mean, there are other developers as well where
Right.
we did pretty well.
Yeah, but I just want to raise a question based on what you just said, and because you're on the market, you're on the ground, you know the pulse more than all of us do. We have that many new developers as well who are coming into Dubai. I mean, until about last year, till the end of last year rather, we had about 8 to 10 top developers. And now suddenly the count's gone up to 30 and 40 developers. And you have a lot of these small developers as well. I mean, rightfully, they have their own space. What's your take as a broker? How do you weigh in before you decide to work with a certain developer? I mean, the big developers are big developers, and I'm sure you're definitely a part of that game with us as well, with all the others. But how about the small developers? How do you look at them as a broker?
See, the opportunities are always there.
Right.
It's not like that if the developer is new that they cannot do better.
Yeah.
Every developer, when they started, it was always a new developer, right? So, but again, there are certain factors that we have to consider, which
Right.
includes how good they are when it comes to the finances.
Right.
How good they
And
are.
why is that important? Why is that important for a client?
Whatever they are going to start, let's say if they're going to start a project,
They should
they
complete.
should have the appetite to finish it.
Right.
That's the most important
Number
part, I
one.
believe.
But I think all of you all who
Yeah.
are tuned in, that's one important thing that you must bear in mind. Check for financials. Is that easily available if you really want to understand the financials?
No.
Right.
No.
So how do you
we
gauge
have
that?
to. We go in detail. We
Right.
go and check with the developer. We see
Right.
who are the promoters.
Awesome.
There are plenty of developers. See, the reason why we do all these research before we sign up for a project to
Yeah.
promote it
Yeah.
is because we have seen what has happened previously in the market, 2008, 9, 10, and all those
Right.
slow market.
Right.
So now what we do is it's a very promising market now. People are quite aspiring. I mean, they want to do some developments. There are
Yeah.
new developers coming in the market nowadays. The only thing that segregates a good developer and an average developer is their experience in Dubai real estate market.
Right.
One thing, how good they are when it comes to the sales.
Right.
What's their motto? Are they there to complete one or two projects, or they have plans to continue and
Long
develop
term.
a legacy?
Yeah.
So we always
Yeah.
look at some developers who have long-term plans.
Right. Right.
Plus, we see the location of the
Right.
project, we see the
Right.
designs, we see the price, we see the payment terms, we see
All
the
that.
approvals from the government authority, if they have
Right.
actually procured all the approvals or not.
Yeah.
Once all these things are in place, then we move to further stage,
Right.
further investigation,
Right.
which
Right.
includes what kind of returns our customers, our clients can get if they invest in this project.
Correct.
Dubai is big. It's a huge
Absolutely.
market.
Absolutely.
So not every location is a promising location at this point of
Right.
time.
Right.
We have seen a very high price. The prices are going on the higher side nowadays.
Right.
Now, in such scenario, there are places which may see a good increase in the prices in
Right.
next couple of years, and there are prices which will be seeing relatively lesser appreciation.
Right.
We see all
Right.
our research, we do all our research, and then accordingly we move.
Right.
So
Which
we have
obviously means that you handpick before even you take it to clients, right?
exactly. We
Excellent.
don't sell
Excellent.
anything or everything.
Right.
We focus on selected projects,
Right. Right.
even when it comes to the premium developers.
Right.
Not
Right.
every project is worth investing in.
Right. Absolutely agreed. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
for us, we do our research first.
yeah. So that's key. Right? One of the things that you got to remember is when you're working with a broker, work with a broker who knows his numbers, has done his research, knows his market, and that will give you enough confidence to really go ahead and invest your money through a broker of choice. Thank you for that information, Azhar.
Welcome.
You spoke about legacy. I want to pick up on that. We have two brands with massive legacy. Damac, with a legacy of its own 20 years in the market. We've seen storms, cycles, we've seen the booms and the busts, and we've come this far. So that's a phenomenal legacy that they've built.
No doubt.
And then a
True.
100-year-old football club, which is on top of the league, just like Damac on top of the league. And these two coming together
Yes.
to actually bring another new era into real estate
True.
and a new development in maritime.
Yes.
What do you think about that union? What are your takes?
See, again, like I told you, that when we were starting our company upstream, so we came from the sales background, and then someone came from the marketing background.
Right.
And it was a very, 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 very unique and a very deadly combination, I'll say.
Right.
And that's how we were able to manage what we have done so far in the last
Right.
3
right,
years.
Right.
I think it's a very small example relatively when we compare Damac and Chelsea. Damac
Right.
and Chelsea, these are the two biggest brands. Damac being the largest private developer in the market, plus Chelsea, a legacy itself. And when these two brands come together, which adds value to the project, which
Right.
adds value in terms of amenities, facilities,
Right.
brand recognition. Now, we know that Dubai is an international market,
Right.
People from different part of the world comes to Dubai and invest in
Right.
different projects.
Absolutely.
Now, we don't need to, promote or say anything about Chelsea. We don't need to say anything about Damac Properties. Everyone knows.
Right.
So definitely, domestic market and international market will see quite a good interest
Right.
from these two different
Right.
areas.
Right.
So this is something which is gonna go easily in the market. I mean, this doesn't need any effort.
Right.
It's a product that sells.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of
Yeah.
the day, you spoke about two brands, which is the Damac and the Chelsea brand. And you're actually compounding the value of branding by these
Yes.
two big giants in their own fields coming together. What's your outlook on branding in Dubai? Do clients really ask for branded residences? Because I know they sell at a premium,
Yes.
right? I mean, you've got two premiums now to add and think about. One's the branded premium, which usually commands about 30% more returns and capital appreciation and ROIs. And then you have C-Face, which adds
Yes.
another premium to it. So let's bring
Yes.
both together. What do you think would be the future of branding in Dubai? I mean, do people still show interest? Do they still want branded apartments?
Of course.
Really?
Yeah. Of all the inquiries that we are getting from different part of the world and from local market as well,
Right.
there's a huge demand for something which is branded.
Right.
See, the whole game is exclusivity.
Yeah.
The whole game is what's the brand value you're carrying in your project,
Right.
what you put in your project.
Right.
So when we speak of Chelsea, when we speak of Damac, together itself, it creates a very niche product,
Right.
which is gonna give us highly, very high good returns.
Right.
One thing. Now, this project, the location, Maritime City, wherein we are launching it, this
Yeah.
is something which is still very undervalued.
Right.
What I see in the market nowadays for the branded residences, the prices goes approximately 4,000, 4,500 to 5,000 and further.
And above, yes.
And above, yes.
Right. Yeah.
For per square feet, we're saying. So now in such a market where there is limited shoreline, when there is a place which is already undervalued, wherein we are getting something in this price range, 2,800 or 3,000 dirham
Right.
per square feet.
Right.
That too, when two biggest brands of the world are coming together, we see a good scope of capital appreciation and rental returns.
Right.
Usually for branded residences, 30 to 40% is something that we look at.
Right.
It's more than that when you buy something which is a very undervalued location.
Right.
The location itself
Right.
has not seen that prices in the market so far.
Yeah,
So
precisely.
I'm pretty much sure the prices that you're keeping for Damac Chelsea is quite less than what it should be.
Right.
Yes.
Quite right. But I just want to hop on that point, and also for our international viewers. I mean, a dollar is 3.68 dirhams, just for you to know. So when Azhar was talking about 5,000 dirhams, we're talking about anywhere in the proximity of $1,200 to $1,300 per square foot. Now, we in our project launch, the Mac Chelsea Residences, you got to remember two things: we are branded, and not just another brand, but Chelsea. And I mean, today, if you go up and watch Chelsea players, you'll find their jerseys carrying the Mac. I mean, it's purely branded together. That second is the seaside apartment enjoying another premium. And imagine that premium weight coming at a price of about 2,800 dirhams. Convert that into dollars, it's under 800 US dollars. Now that's a price point. Now just hold on to that, keep that in your mind. I'm going to continue the rest of the conversation.
Yes.
A couple of things. Maritime.
Yes.
You mentioned that it's a bit underappreciated. Let me be careful about what I say.
Okay.
Underappreciated as a destination of choice. Tell me a little about Maritime. Why should people look at Maritime?
So, if you look at the shoreline of Dubai, it's
Yeah.
quite limited. Dubai
Yeah.
is a very small city when it comes
Correct.
to the shoreline part. From north to south, there are very limited places wherein a freehold property can be promoted.
Yeah.
There's a large space in between Maritime City and then Palm Jumeirah,
Right.
which wherein experts are not buying any property, or we are not
Right.
promoting any freehold properties there.
Right.
So the shoreline is quite limited.
Right.
Now,
Now you're talking about Dubai shoreline specifically.
Dubai
right?
shoreline
Okay.
specifically. Yes.
But again, I'm just going to toss the question around a bit, and I want to hear your insights.
Yes.
I mean, due respects to all Emirates, I mean, I know all of them have lovely shorelines to cover them. Why would a client not forsake Dubai shoreline and look at shorelines in Ras Al Khaimah or your Al Quwain in the future, if at all they open up in the future?
Right.
How would you kind of counter that?
So, see, no doubt that every emirate is trying to develop their shoreline, they're trying to develop their real estate market, and they are doing pretty well. Now,
Right.
recently, the developments that we have seen in Al Quwain or Ras Al Khaimah or Abu Dhabi, I mean, they are
Right.
quite good.
Yeah.
But we have to consider a few factors. When it comes to buy a property, it's always easy. You can buy anywhere in the world. But how smoothly you can exit from that investment, it matters a lot.
Right. Tell me a little about that.
Yeah. So in Dubai, if we look at the population of UAE, we are talking about almost 10 million now.
Yeah, about that.
Out of that, around 4 million is Dubai. So 40% of the total population lives in just one emirate out of 7.
Right.
So the
Right.
huge market is Dubai, one thing. Second thing, every tourist who's coming to UAE is coming to Dubai.
Right.
Doesn't matter what business you have in Ras Al Khaimah, doesn't matter what business you have in Abu Dhabi, doesn't matter what things you have to do in Al Quwain, people will prefer to stay in Dubai and explore all other places.
Right.
So
Than the other way
organic-
around.
Exactly.
Right.
Organic demand is there in Dubai. The other emirates we are pushing now.
Right.
So it is yet to reach at that point.
Right.
The other emirates, no
Right.
doubt, I mean, with due respect, the other emirates are yet to reach there
Yeah.
where we
absolutely.
are already.
Yeah.
We are talking about last 20 years of development, and the other emirates are starting now.
Right.
So definitely that will be another opportunity in future, but the timeline will be longer.
Right.
You can't flip or you can't exit from the investment with good capital returns in a shorter period
Right.
if you are in any other emirates.
Right.
So that's the difficulty.
Right. Got it.
You buy it for a very long period,
Hmm.
of course, those are also good options you can
Right.
consider.
Right.
If you
Right.
want to exit from the investment, let's say in 2 years or 3 years or 4 years,
Right.
Dubai is the place.
Right. Right.
Now, coming back to the shoreline part,
Yeah.
Maritime City. Now, if you look at the area, if you look at the geography of Dubai,
Yeah.
now Maritime City is somewhere in between Dubai Island, wherein Dubai Holding, which is government, is doing massive development. On one side, the development is already done, which includes Bulgari residences,
Right.
which include Port de la Mer,
Yeah. The
Lamer area,
upside
the
of
upside.
seaside living, right?
Exactly, exactly.
Well, what's the price now around that area, especially your Blue Waters? I heard it's tipped over your 6 and 7,000 PSF now.
Depending on the view, 6,000, 6,500 dirhams per square feet. That's the current market price.
Right,
If you look at Bulgari, there is no price.
right,
It can go anywhere.
right.
I mean, we have sold a couple of plots previously at 80 million, 90 million, or 100 million as well.
Right, that
So there is
explains.
no price tag on that location now
Right.
because, again, the exclusivity.
Correct.
So we do have some space available on the desert side, which we call, let's say, the east side of Dubai.
Right.
But on the west side of Dubai, wherein we have the shoreline,
Shoreline.
it's limited.
Limited.
After Maritime City, we don't see much space available.
Right.
If you look at the entire shoreline, almost everything is exhausted.
Right.
We have developed more or less everything.
Right.
Now, Maritime City is one of the last land parcel on the shoreline wherein we are seeing the developments now.
Right.
Eventually, in a period of, let's say, 4 or 5 years, I believe we will be in a position wherein we will say that, yeah, we do not have shoreline available. Whatever the developments we are going to do, it will be on the other side of
It
the
was
city.
very interesting. I mean, it's always like, your developers come and say, sold out, sold out. Soon Dubai is going to say, shorelines, sold out.
Yeah, this is where we are heading now, Govind. Now,
Right.
I'm pretty much sure in next,
Right.
I think in next 2 or 3 years,
Right.
we will declare that your shoreline is done. We are done with the shoreline developments.
Right.
Now,
Right.
whatever we will be doing will be on the other side
Further
of the
in,
city.
yeah, just suburbs and but I think I just want to summarize that beautiful point that you mentioned. It's not just about shoreline, but specifically Dubai shorelines. Dubai has become a global city, an envious city for its infrastructure, for the way we connect to the rest of the world, keeping our doors open for business. COVID has been a case in point for us. What a business case study. When the whole world was shutting down, we were opening up. We were so business focused.
Yes.
And that's also paradise for both the local communities and the expatriates who live here, in such communal peace. You see that in Dubai, such a phenomenon.
Exactly.
And if you want to be a part of that shoreline, of that city, which is so exclusive, time is running out,
Exactly.
right? So you've got to make a decision very quickly now.
And we have got few good projects, which includes Chelsea by Damac.
Right,
This is something wherein we can
right,
Right. catch the opportunity, I'll say.
right, right.
Yes.
But how kicked is Uplux about the Chelsea residences? How excited is your camp?
We are very excited, actually.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And honestly speaking, we could not run the campaign, digital campaign so far. But from our existing customer base, we are generating a lot of inquiries. Our existing clients from UK, our existing clients from US, Canada,
Right.
Germany, we are getting a lot of inquiries. The moment they are seeing something coming in Dubai with Damac, the collaboration of Damac and Chelsea,
Right.
they are checking with us. They are asking us, what is this? How do we proceed? What exactly it is?
Right.
We are not selling it with promotions. We are not selling it with advertisements. We are getting organic inquiries for this.
Well, it's nice to know. It's good to know.
Yes.
And the usual suspects, you mentioned some of the countries like Germany and the UK and the US, China definitely, and India as well, which is usually the usual suspects. Are you seeing any other new geographies opening up to the Dubai market?
So I think in last 1 year, USA is something that we have seen.
Yeah, that's warming up.
Yeah.
Definitely is. The
So we
US
are
is
getting a
warming up.
good response, a very, very good response from USA market.
Right.
We are getting good response from Balkan countries.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Well, that's
yes.
interesting.
In fact, we may have an office soon there.
Right.
I mean, the kind of response we are getting from
Right.
these countries, from Greece, from Bosnia, it's really
There
good.
is response from these
It
countries
is.
as well
It's
now.
really nice. It's really
Nice.
nice.
Good
I
to
mean,
know.
we are getting some serious business from there now.
Right.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. Excellent. Just bringing it back to the whole client broker engagement piece, and Uplux is right there with clients. What would your advice be to clients who are tuned in today? Maybe some of them are just got their pens open and want to sign the dotted lines to make a decision of investing. What are the 2 or 3 things that you would definitely want your clients to be aware about before they even choose the right brokerage?
So again, there are certain criteria, there are certain parameters that we always consider. I mean,
Right.
if I have to buy a property now, since I'm into this real estate market, it's easy for me.
Right.
But in a layman language, if I want to deal with someone, I need someone who has good command on number,
Right.
who has access to the developer's inventory.
Right.
Because every time we are launching something, the projects are getting sold very quickly, and not everyone is able to get the units of their preference. This is the situation which we are expecting in this project as well.
Right.
So if I have to deal with a customer, let's say, So I want to deal with someone who can brief me on the project in detail, who
Right.
can show me the project, the projection in terms of numbers,
Right.
and who can get me the unit of my choice.
Right. The
Now,
inventory.
inventory part.
Mm.
Plus, this is one part of the sales.
Right.
Apart from this, it's always a long-term relationship.
Right.
Investors who are buying properties who are not the residents of Dubai, we are getting a good response from that market as well. Now, for those people, the good part is, or the most important part, I'll say, is who is going to manage these properties once the handover happens.
Is that a
Or
concern for local investors or more importantly international investors?
local investors, they still have options. They are here in the city. Okay, they can, I mean, if not X broker, then Y broker. I mean, they can still choose.
Right.
But yeah, of course, you always need a broker who can help you in managing these properties.
Right.
Because you have to put these properties on rent. You might want to sell these properties. Once the handover happens, for snagging and everything, you need people to go there.
Right.
Now, being a person from a different industry, you might not have those expertise,
Right.
which you need to do all these things. So you always need a broker, and then you need not just a broker, a good broker,
Right.
who can help you with all these things, who has
Right.
this portfolio, who are managing the properties in the
Right.
longer
And the
period.
experience of having managed these portfolios.
Exactly,
as well.
exactly. Who
Right.
can get you good
Right.
rental returns, who can help you in exiting from the properties
Right.
at the right time. Because we just don't sell properties, we manage the portfolios, we manage the investments. We suggest you when to buy and when not to buy as well.
Right.
We
Right.
suggest you when to exit from the investment and when to keep the investment for
That's
a
the
longer
whole
period.
advisory services that you give to your clients as
Exactly.
well, right?
This is an end-to-end process, because see, at the end, those who are buying property, they're not buying it once.
Yeah, absolutely.
They'll buy it again. They'll buy it again.
For
Their
some,
friend
it's
circle.
lifetime earnings as well, right? They're sinking all their money into real estate.
And this becomes our duty to make sure that the investment is going in the right direction.
Right.
And we see when they need to exit from the investment.
Right.
So there are two things which I always say, irrespective of the market conditions. There is always a right time to enter in the market, and then there is a right time to exit also from the investments.
Right.
So we as experienced
Right.
consultants, we provide these services.
So, based on your crystal ball, is this a right time to enter, right time to exit?
Again, depending on the project. Now,
Right.
if you're buying something, let's say, if you have bought something in Palm Jumeirah, or if you have bought something in downtown, let's say 5 years back, I think you can exit now.
Right. So it
And
depends
then-
on how much you allowed the property to accumulate.
Exactly. And then where you have
Right.
invested before.
Right. Right.
And if it is Maritime City, this is the time you enter now.
Right.
So I'll say, if you have invested before, let's say in Palm Jumeirah, Palm Jumeirah, downtown, or Marina kind of properties, which are
Right.
quite saturated in terms of prices,
Right.
this is the time you exit from those investments.
Right.
And move these funds to places like
Where there is
Dubai
more
land,
growth that you can-
or
Makes more sense.
new
Absolutely.
developments like Maritime City.
Right, right. I think, Azhar, that's brilliant advice, especially for investor class. Again, for people who are tuned in today, I hope you took note of what the gentleman just said. If you are someone who's already invested into properties at the entry price a few years back, and you must have definitely seen some appreciation, and if you're an investor who would like to offload, it could be a great opportunity to offload and buy into newer areas, which has more promises
Yes.
on the capital appreciation side as we go into the future. So this is something that you got to bear in mind. Azhar, with that, I think we're coming to the end of today's episode. I want to first of all thank you for taking your time out and joining us today.
Welcome. It's always good to come here and discuss about these opportunities
Thank
with you,
you.
Govind.
Thank you so much. And you have barred no holds. You have shared all your tips and techniques, and more important, the advice that you've given your clients. And people are tuned in on how they need to make investments in Dubai. More importantly, Chelsea residences.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I appreciate
You're
your
welcome.
presence today.
Thank you, Govind.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us today. I hope you found this discussion very insightful. Again, just bringing and zeroing down your interest to invest into Dubai real estate. Do keep an eye open for Maritime City. And that's where the opportunities are today, especially in terms of your pricing. Great time to enter. As you heard Azhar mention that a number of times, a great time to enter. And also look at the upside. Chelsea brings the best of two worlds together, the best of brand, and you also have the best of sea views and a territory which is still, I would say, unappreciated and unexplored. Great time to enter, and you could expect some nice nifty capital appreciation if you were to invest and enter into the market today. Do bear in mind, get in touch with the right brokers like the likes of Uplux Properties. Make sure that you get the right advice. And some of these people are prolific when it comes to identifying the best investment opportunities in the market. So here we have Chelsea Residences. For people who are considering Maritime City, please do remember, exclusivity is the game. You only have provision for about 27,000 residents to be living there. 14,000 have already called Maritime City their home. There's still room for another 13,000. And if you are looking at buying a unit, a nice sea-facing unit, giving you the best of sunrise and sunset, Chelsea Residence is the name. Thank you for joining us today. Please do not forget to follow us and do hit the subscribe button.